Guys, say hello to Timothy Zahn. He was kind enough to join us this week. Thank you so much for coming and talking with us.
Thank you for inviting me down.
You've been a fan of Star Wars since Star Wars was Star Wars.
Since the second night in the theaters. I couldn't make it the first night, but I went to the packed theater the second night.
What were your memories of that like? I wasn't even born yet, so...
Yes, right. Rub it in, rub it in. I knew I was going to like this movie when that Star Destroyer came overhead and just kept coming and kept coming. And it was the first time I had ever in a movie had a real sense of size. And I think I saw it, I've lost track, it was something like 17, 18 times in the theater.
Wow. What do you think it is about Star Wars that has just such a profound effect on people the first time they see it and keeps them coming back?
It's the fact that George hit all of the triggers for human beings. There's loyalty, there's love, there's devotion, there's sacrifice. All the things that are common to humanity are right there in the movie. And we can follow along, we can cheer with them, we can tense up, we can mourn, however briefly, when Porkins dies. These are people we want to root for because these are us in many ways. What
Star Wars character do you think has like the most interesting psychology?
They're all so different. That's what makes a part of what makes it all just accessible to everybody. Luke is the naive, hopeful person who wants to get something bigger and it's kind of handed it to him. You've got Han, who doesn't want to have anything else in his life except himself and Chewie and their work and some money. And he gets kind of dragged, almost kicking and screaming, at least that's what he pretends he's getting dragged into it. But down deep there is a core of ethics that he will probably not admit to, but it shows up. Leia, by the time we meet her, she is the core. She has already made the decision of what she's going to do. She's the center point. In many ways, I see Leia as the role Captain America plays in the Avengers. She's the conscience, the core.
I like that.
And for all of the hassle people get over the brass bikini thing, I really enjoy watching that battle, because she does not look around, okay, what can I do against Jabba? She's already figured it out. She's mapped out exactly what she's going to do when the time is right. She
on top of it.
She's playing it perfectly, exactly the way she should. And I think a lot of people don't miss that point.
I love that scene for that reason, because there's no self-consciousness about what she does. She's direct and she knows exactly.
She's ready. She's got her plan in place. I just need the right time.
She uses what she has
exactly.
around her. It's just, I actually really love that scene. A lot of people credit the Heir to the Empire series as kind of their launching point into really diving into their Star Wars fandom. What were your real-world inspirations for Thrawn?
Once I'd made the decision that this is someone who leads by loyalty, it was a compilation of all the best military leaders. There was no specific person, though I like the Rommel comparison because, like Rommel, Thrawn is under the leadership of someone who is not necessarily unstable, but certainly is has his own agenda, shall we say.
When you're coming back and writing for this character again and having the legend that he is, the stature that people hold him to, how do you go about writing him in a way that's, true to that character that they have in their minds, but also fresh and new?
With great trepidation.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
No pressure.
That's no pressure at all. That was the big challenge. I mean, not only did it have to link up with the Rebels, it had to link up with the Thrawn trilogy and the other stuff I've done with him, and it also had to be something new, something different. It was a balancing act, but Thrawn is just such an interesting character to write, and it's always fun to come up with some kind of, okay, here's the attack, what's he going to do about it? And the ability to do parallel the rise to power of Thrawn and Price, very different people, very different roads, very different endpoints, really. She's in politics, he's in military. And then weave the stories in and out as they run into each other, because again, it doesn't look like that's their first meeting in Rebels. But in many ways, she didn't really want this. She kind of wanted to get off her planet.
Right. She always had aspirations of...
But has given them up now. And now she's kind of drop-kicked off the planet. When she's given up, she's got her new lease on life. What is she going to do with it? Starts out looking for revenge, but it becomes a whole lot bigger down the road.
Your work has been inspiring Star Wars fans for years now, and many of them have pursued writing and have gotten into fan fiction and want to write for Star Wars. What kind of advice do you have for fans that look at you and say, I want to be where Timothy Zahn is someday?
The key is keep writing. A lot of people who want to write come up with great ideas and then discover that translating it from here onto the page is a lot of work. And a lot of them give up. And the key is you keep at it. You finish the story. You finish the book. You go on, you send it out to a publisher, an e-publisher, or self-publish it online or whatever, and you move on to the next one. Whether you can write Star Wars has always been an invitation-only franchise as far as books and stories. So you need to build up your track record of writing your own stuff first, and then you can start maybe slipping into the Star Wars universe. But you have to have your own stuff. You have to have your own, demonstrate your own creativity and your ability to write satisfying stories and books, and then go from there.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
The video you just watched is from an episode of the Star Wars Show. We have new episodes every Wednesday right here.
If you like what you see, make sure you click here to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to watch this week's full episode, click right there.